Have you ever really looked at the tips of your fingers? You know, those tiny swirling patterns that are completely uniquely yours? We tend to think of them as just, well, identifiers. But what if they were so much more? What if they're actually telling a story, having a secret conversation right under our noses?
It's a pretty wild thought, right? Just imagine these little marks whispering secrets about who we are and what our purpose is. Well, the source material we're diving into today takes that idea and just runs with it, spinning this incredible tale about the personalities living right at our fingertips.
So here's the deal. According to this story, our fingerprints are basically home to three different characters. You've got the whirl, the loop, and the arch. And they're not just sitting there, no, they're in a constant chat with each other. Okay, let's jump in and get to know these guys, one by one. First up, let's talk about the loops. And in this story, they aren't just part of the world, they pretty much are the world. They're like the foundational native energy of our entire existence.
And this really gets to the core of what the loops are all about. They're the ones who are here for the pure experience of it all, to feel everything, to explore their creativity, to connect with people through love. Think of them as the artists, the lovers, the actual pulse of life itself.
And here's where it gets really cool. There's this neat little parallel with real life. The story says loops are the world. And what do you know? Scientifically, they're the most common fingerprint pattern out there, found in about 65% of all people. Kind of fits perfectly, doesn't it?
All right, let's meet our next character. And this is a big shift. In total contrast to the native loops, we have the whirls, and the source describes them as alien visitors to this world.
So think about it this way. If loops are here just to experience, whirls are here to achieve. They are totally mission-oriented. They didn't just show up to live life. They came here with a very specific job to do, a unique purpose they need to fulfill. But this alien status, it comes with some challenges. The source suggests that people with whirls might often feel a little out of place, almost like the rules of this world don't quite click for them. Their intense focus on their mission can make the emotional, free-flowing world of the loops feel, well, a bit foreign.
Okay, so we've got the native experiencers and the alien doers. Two really powerful, almost opposite forces. So what stops this whole system from just spinning into total chaos? Well, let's meet our final, crucial character, the arch, the great balancer.
Now here's the most important thing about the arch. Its role isn't about itself, it's about the other two. Its entire reason for being, in this whole story, is to be the mediator. It's there to create and maintain harmony between those focused, driven whirls and the creative, free-spirited loops.
And it pulls off this balancing act in two very clear ways. On one side, it supports the whirls, giving them what they need to get their important work done, and on the other side, it gently controls the loops, helping them get all the benefits from the whirl's progress without getting totally overwhelmed or even broken by that intensity. Okay, so we've met our three characters. We've got the doers, the experiencers, and the balancers. Now let's put it all together and see how this fascinating little ecosystem, this conversation between them, really works. This slide just lays it all out so perfectly. On one hand, you've got the intense, purposeful, almost laser-focused energy of the whirls. And on the other, the big, expansive, creative energy of the loops. They're just here for fundamentally different reasons. And this table is basically the cheat sheet for the whole system. Whirls do, loops experience, arches balance. Simple enough? But wait, look really closely at that last row. This is where the story hits us with a major plot twist. The all-important balancer? It's also the most fragile. It has to be protected. And this is the number one rule in this whole game. It's not just on the arches to keep the peace. The source makes it super clear that both the whirls and the loops have this ultimate responsibility to protect the arch, to take care of the very thing that keeps them all in harmony.
Because if they fail, what happens then? Well, the consequences are huge. If the arch, the center point of balance, gets distorted or damaged, the whole system just falls apart. The whirls can't finish their mission, the loops can be shattered by all that unchecked energy, and that whole beautiful, delicate conversation just breaks down into static.
So all of this brings us to the real takeaway from this amazing little story, the moral of the story that's being told on the tips of our very own fingers.
In the end, it really is a simple message of unity, of mutual respect. It's the loop, right? The heart of the world that speaks for everybody.
The final point isn't about which pattern is better or stronger, but about realizing that all three are absolutely essential, and by protecting the balance between us, we can make a pretty beautiful world together.
And just like that, this story turns something we see every single day into a kind of mirror. It asks us to think about the different energies inside ourselves and in the world all around us. So the final question this whole thing leaves us with is a really personal one. In this cast of doers, experiencers, and balancers, what story are your fingerprints telling you?